Hello and welcome back to our super mega YouTube channel. You join us as we continue our tour of the Lorraine and Alsace region of France.
So in this vlog we visit one of the most iconic spots in the Alsace. We find a little tiny spot right in a hidden valley, and we're currently at a campsite with some unusual visitors who you may have heard in the background.
Yes, you heard that, yet another campsite, and this is because of you guys watching our channel and letting the mega dosh just rush in, so we splash the cash on campsites. Not enough to afford electricity though.
No, definitely not.
Not that much, but if we forget later on, thank you for tuning in, watching, bantering up, just generally having the crack and making life a bit of fun. Cheers.
So this is the air at Colmar.
Coleman's, it's where they make the mustard.
Colmar. It's one of those towns that if you Google Alsace, this is what it tells you to come and see.
It's one of the most famous towns in this area. There's loads of stuff on the internet about how beautiful it is, etc, etc.
And it was beautiful in places. It's not been our favourite place to visit yet.
I'm not coming back.
But it was okay. The walk from the air is just in through the normal outskirts of the town. It was pretty grim really, wasn't it?
It was like Dogwood Valley.
But once you're in the town, it's still very pretty. Lots going on if you're into bars and things and restaurants, but I don't know, there just wasn't that vibe we had at Albany and Strasbourg.
It's nice enough, but we've been to nicer places, so it's left me a bit like.
Kenneth told you to find a new hat.
Well, Kenneth, I ain't spending €160.
A Bugatti made out of chocolate. Right, bud, this isn't for you. No, you can't have this. Quite nice.
It's just like a lemon drizzle cake. This parkup has been alright, hasn't it? Bit pricey, man. €17. That's no electric, no services. You have to pay extra for a token for services, but I mean, we don't need it. But €17, you're really just paying for the fact that it's on the doorstep of Coleman's and you can walk in half an hour. So, but quiet night, good night's sleep.
Mixed reviews on Park for Night though. People complaining about the hum from, well, the noise from the factory, but actually it was
there was a hum in there last night.
It was just one of those low-level constant hums that just seems like white noise really.
I'm used to that because that's what I hear all the time. A low-level constant hum like white noise.
That's just rude. So we're off now to find the complete opposite parkup. We are going into a little valley down in the Vosges mountains and for a bit of peace and quiet. Well, this is what motorhoming is all about, finding these little tiny places off the beaten track. And we are in Murbach. It's just a little tiny car park that the community have given up for motorhomers.
The parkup, we were lucky because we were rolled in and then we spied a spot where there was someone else who then left. So we've got somewhere level, out at way, in the sun for the solar. The service point, we don't know how much it is, but you pay with your card. But there's actually free Wi-Fi, really fast. So, winner, winner.
And top tip, the car park is just opposite an auberge and it has filled up really quickly at lunchtime with people using it. So you either need to arrive early or late.
Everybody's famous in the news every day.
And we're now sat looking at the most beautiful monastery, and behind us is a little tiny chapel. It's just stunning and it's so peaceful sat here.
Can anybody out there tell me what's really at stake? The fear knows how I'm feeling, better than I'm healing.
Oh my word.
Play this game no more. I don't wanna feed the flame no more. I don't wanna play this game no more.
Wow, it said you got a beautiful view of the monastery, and they weren't kidding. It looks stunning.
Endless visions of sacred fish.
Well, I'm very well rested because this parkup is very quiet and it was great.
The car park did empty as predicted mid-afternoon when everybody had their lunch, and it's been really quiet. Just I think 3 of us overnight last night. So we're now off to find a campsite only about half an hour away, but hopefully we will have some very interesting campsite visitors.
Well, I hope they're interesting because otherwise we're splashing the cash for no reason.
Well, this is peace and quiet at its best.
Well, it were till you started rabbiting.
Beautiful little campsite, it's really quiet, choose your own pitch. So we are sat looking at our camping neighbours. We've been sat watching storks in that tree in front of us for a couple of hours. Andrew's just gone inside to get his camera ready and his tripod, and all the storks have just left. Guess what? All the storks have gone.
No, we haven't.
They have, they've all just gone. I've just watched them all disappear while she's been faffing about. Look at you with your big lens. They've obviously gone to feed somewhere together as a family unit. we've enjoyed this site so much that although we'd only booked for 2 nights originally, we've actually stayed for 4.
Splashing the gazillionaire YouTube cash.
But it's actually a really cost-effective campsite, and it's only cost us €19 a night.
Which is really good value for money. However, if we'd have come last week before the time for the Axi card runs out, it would have been €17, so €2 cheaper, and would have included free electric. However, Axi runs to about the 5th of July, and then there's a big gap to September, so bear that in mind when you're travelling. It may or may not be Axi.
What we like about this campsite is its openness, and at this end of the site nearest the Stoke Park, the pitches are really large, not really well marked out, but you kind of, on the map you all know where you're supposed to be parking. The laundry's over there, as is the grey and black waste for the toilet. The other side of the campsite is a little bit more structured, with individual little pitches marked out, quite private alcoves. So it is a really nice campsite. So I've counted over a dozen nests on this site alone, let alone the Stoke Park next door. And it's just so lovely seeing them every day. These young ones here are just waiting to fly off in autumn. And of course the most important thing to do every day is go and order your baguette for the morning. But these last couple of days has allowed us to go and explore the area, and yesterday we walked into the pretty village just up the road. I say just up the road, it were 9 miles there and back, to Tan.
Always find joy in the smallest of things. That is what we found in you. Oh, 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 you are joy. Never give up when the going gets rough. Hope is everything you need. Oh, 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 you are hope. Oh, 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 you are hope.
But it turned out that it was actually some sort of walking event for the local people, and there were loads of families out walking. And what's different about French walks is they all have a little pouch around the neck where they can put their glass of wine in and a little snack and drink while they walk.
So it was too busy. So it was a right long walk. Supposed to be a really beautiful town again, but it weren't really. It were. You'd have been disappointed if you'd have made a special trip to go there in your van, because there's a couple of parkups, free parkups and so on. So if you're passing through, transiting, stop, have a wander into town, but don't make a special journey. However, the best bit about Tan was the walk along the river, and that took you right on the water's edge, but then along the edge of the vineyards, and then that was worth going for. they were all right.
And don't forget you're not alone. The Holy Spirit wants to guide you on. The journey, child, will never end once your heart's been marked by a love for Him.
We had a nice lunch.
We did. So we found Chez Emma and had flamitzas, which are a cross between pizzas and tart flambé.
Like a thin crust pizza, but it doesn't have the tomato marinade on it. It has like a sour cream sort of thing. Really nice. It's been interesting sat here over the last few days. It's quite mesmerising, all these giant storks flying over. They're like a metre tall, aren't they? They're massive, and they're all swooping in like pterodactyls. And then they've got nests up in trees, so we've been watching them. It's been okay, that. I've been enjoying that.
And we have 10 amazing facts that you might be interested in.
10, honestly.
10.
I can't think of 10 things.
I can.
Not amazing.
Are you ready?
They are the symbol for this region of France, the Alsace region. You'll see them on flags and banners and
Tea towels, ornaments.
just about everything. So that's pretty amazing and cute.
And the reason they are the symbol for the Alsace region is because they bring happiness, good luck, and are a symbol of fertility.
Just like me. Stoics mate for life, and that can be 30 years. That is a lot of mating, and it's longer than a prison sentence. 10, honestly, it's going to be so long.
It's not.
Well, I'm bored already, and we've only done 3.
There are lots of folk tales about the appearance of storks in Alsace, and this is my favourite, and it dates back to 817 with Louis the Pious, and he had 3 sons, but his second wife decided that she wanted all of his wealth to be left to her son. So obviously the other 2 weren't very happy. There was lots of bloodshed, and the storks were really sad. So they've dipped their beaks and legs in blood, and that's why they're red, and the black part of the wings is because they're in mourning. And to remember that mourning, they then never spoke another word or bird song.
I wish you wouldn't speak another word.
I think that's just a lovely story.
They leave here in winter and go to Africa, but the interesting thing is that the baby birds go first and the parents follow after and always find them. If that were me, I'd accidentally not find them.
Sorry girls. But then what happens is the male bird comes back first, repairs and maintains the nest, and then somehow the woman realises it's ready and she comes back.
If there's anyone still watching now, I'm really sorry. When the female does get her act together and come back to the nest, it's the same nest for the rest of their life.
It's very sweet actually, they're very loyal birds. But actually in 1974 there were only 9 breeding pairs in Alsace, and the region decided they needed to do something. There's been lots of conservation projects, of which the Stork Park over there is one of them, and there are now over 600 breeding pairs in the Alsace region. And there are also lots of folklore tales about them linking to carrying babies, and if you've seen anything to do with babies, it's always with a stork carrying a baby. But actually I think the story is a lot sweeter. So this is it.
It's a lot longer.
So back in the day, the Germanic goddess of birth and death, Holder, welcomes the deceased souls and sends them back to the real world in raindrops to be reincarnated into newborn babies. The elves collect the souls from the waters with a golden thread and deliver them to the mothers. So that's the sort of story of how babies are born. But then in 1838, Hans Christian Andersen then added the bit about the storks, and that's where the 2 folk tales are blended together.
So he's to blame.
Yeah. So now the story is in the Alsace that the elves collect the babies with a golden thread, but then give them to the storks, and the storks deliver them to the mothers if they've left a little sugar cube on the windowsill. I just think it's a really sweet story.
Yeah, I want to shoot myself.
So Andrew's got the last amazing fact to tell you.
Storks are born mute, unlike someone I know. But they communicate by clattering the beak together, a bit like you flapping your mouth all the time. But it makes a noise that seems a bit sinister in the night because it sounds like the Predator from that famous Arnold Schwarzenegger acting movie.
But what happens is the male comes back to the nest, and then he signals, and then the female comes. And then they do vice versa. So it's quite cute, really. It's their way of talking lovingly to each other as they mate for life and live together. So that's it for this time.
I'm sure you're quite relieved.
It's been very interesting. And I just remember that Mary said in one of the comments that she did like to hear me speak. So thanks Mary, you've given me carte blanche to do whatever I want in one of these vlogs.
If you want to watch more of our dribble, tune in next time because we'll be having some mega thunderstorms, some mega heat, and just generally having a mega old time.
And we'll get to the very bottom of the Alsace region and see what that has to offer.
Thank you, as always, for tuning in. It's very humbling that you actually do, and helping me
and me
become YouTube famous and YouTube gazillionaires.
Au revoir.
Merci beaucoup.